up here on the river this morning. I'll be honest, I had a hard time getting out of bed this morning. I was sleeping good. Just did not want to get up. We've got to go back here a little further back than where we were yesterday to start cutting. And I'm trying to remember where, because you know it's been 6 months since I looked at this. And I've looked at a lot of timber in the last 6 months. I'm trying to remember where we're going to start. I know there's a levee back here. They want us to start on the side of this levee. But it's just trying to remember how far back that levee was. It's going to be a long drag. Big trees. They don't want that cut though. A lot of big water oak. That's the old Meridazine River channel out there. There's still water in it. I'm sure that breeds all these pterodactyl-like mosquitoes that we deal with. It's amazing how much different it looks now since it's all grown up. Just a lot of timber on this place. So luckily, one of the owners of this property was here, and he's on a new Kubota skid steer with a rotary mower on the front of it, and he's been doing some mowing. And we seen the machine yesterday, but it wasn't operating. And today he's been going around the levees here, just kind of mowing. He's back behind us somewhere. I don't even see him. Do you, Mike?
Yeah, he's coming. He's right where the truck was.
Oh, he's back there somewhere. Somewhere. I was trying to get a shot in the rear view, but that ain't gonna happen. Anyway, he's back there. So what we're going to do now is, after talking to him, and we'll talk to one of the other landowners. There's 3 of them in this deal, I guess, on this partnership here. We're going to see if we can't bring in a dozer and cut a road back in there. So there's already a road. We just need to kind of straighten out some of the corners and widen it a bit so we can get back there and build the staging area. And once we build that staging area, we'll kind of have a good centralized location where we can drag those logs, deck them, then we'll buck them right there, and we'll keep everything nice and tight with the skid steer. Then what we'll do is log trucks can come right back in there and load logs instead of having to drag them, you know, a half mile or better one way. Because dragging that type of wood half mile, I mean, it's just, it takes too much time. You can't get any production doing it. You're spending too much time dragging logs. I mean, if we had like a, 630 dual arch tiger cat or a 848 deer, it'd be different, where you can drag several thousand feet. Well, let me not be so, let me not exaggerate so much, where you can drag, several feet at a turn. So we'll see if we can get that dozer in there, and there's a pretty decent area we can build back there to make a deck. And then what we'll do is we'll just have the trucks come in there and load, and come all the way out. And just like originally when I talked to the first owner, when we showed this, I was talking to the second one. That's the first time I'd met him. This job will span out over a couple of years with what they're looking to achieve and what we can offer them. And I just remind them that again, just the way we conduct and like to do business. We're not going to get in any super big hurry, just run through there and mow things down. Once we kind of got a good idea of what their vision is and what they're looking to do with the property. So we want to try to help them achieve that vision. And after talking to them just then, they've owned this since '99, so they've had it right almost 20 years, just a year short of 20 years. This is a property that should, from the minute they got it, they should have been doing periodic timber harvesting and managing their timber. Like we were talking a bit ago, that's the steps they're wanting to start taking, is managing this timber periodically. That way it can start putting money, generating its own revenue to kind of spend on things. And taking out some of these older trees that are dying, that should have been done years ago. Give these small ones a chance to live. So that's kind of the direction they're wanting to go now, and I'm extremely happy to hear that. And I'm glad that, you know, we can help them do that and achieve those goals. I'm glad they chose us to do it. But it's not going to be an easy task. It's what I explained to him. I mean, this is a huge job with a huge amount of timber. I would honestly guess 1 million plus board feet of standing timber. I would guess that pretty easy, what's on this job. And it's going to take some prep work to get in here to where you can get these trees harvested and out. If somebody at Timber Pro's watching, I would love for you to bring down one of your new Timber Pro 755s so we could demo for a couple weeks down here to see how your new D-Series does. If we could demo it on this job, and bring one of your 650 skidders down here, we would like to demo it also. Well, work's going to get cut short today, but it's just the way it goes. Luckily, they weren't mad about where I cut yesterday, just like that gentleman there. He was extremely understanding. He said it wasn't that big of a deal. He could understand where I got confused because it was the west of the levee, just not the right levee. So it was an easy mix-up mistake, especially on a place this big. So we just know not to do it in the future. So, and it makes all the difference in the world when you can work with landowners that are extremely understanding and that want to do business and work together to achieve a common goal. So I guess that's it for today. I need to call Brandon. Brandon, if you're watching, you can expect a phone call. And we're making our way back home, but before we did, years ago, see, when we were in high school, Brandon cut logs for some guys out of Stockton too, and they were logging on this island up here. Now this over here behind us is a big island, and Brandon can tell the story better than I can, but if I remember right, I think this used to be a low water crossing type deal right here. And of course you can imagine how well that works when it floods, and it does flood quite often. But I think this is actually the low side of the island where the least amount of water flows. See, it's a straight shot up there. Well, they built this huge concrete bridge, and I hadn't been back here in at least 15, 16, 17 years since I'd been back up in here. And we were so close, I thought I'd just come up here and look at it. It's pretty neat up there here, just the old river channel. Shoots right down through there. Of course, we're a ways off the water. It's high. That's pretty narrow spot right there where it bottlenecks. Of course, on down it's pretty small too through there. But since we were so close, I wanted to come over here and look at it. We're actually here at Prairie City, Missouri, in between Papenville and Rockville. So yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. Just all farm country on the river up here. A lot of good timber on the river. A lot of pretty country. Sometimes it's fun just to get out and drive around and sightsee.